For the second half, I can't see there have been any changes. So for Celtic it would be Hedman in goal, Falcher and Balde and Lawson essentially a back three. Agat, Lambert, Lennon, Smith, Sutton behind Larsson and Hartson. Celtic have the first 10 minutes or so in the green and white hoops, shirts, white shorts, white socks, kicking from left to right in this second half. Dundee United in the tangerine and black Coombe, McCracken, Wilson, Loughlin, Duff, Easton, Miller, McIntyre, Patterson, Dodds and Lilly. They had a good patch as well, Dundee United. Very much the underdogs. And it was a good competitive first half from them. And I think if anything, Trevor, they grew in confidence as this semi-final wore on.
Yeah, they certainly set out to do a job on Celtic and did that. And once they discovered that they were holding Celtic relatively comfortably, started to develop their own game as well. Charlie Miller featured pretty predominantly with that. But there's always an effect by half-time, and we'll see how either side picks up the pace. Maybe Dundee United didn't want that break to come, because they were certainly starting to dominate towards the end of the first half.
Formation of the two teams then to start this second period on your screen. And this is Hartson. And a very few clear chances. Hartson still looks for Lambert. Bit of a poke. Will he get a second effort? Duff leaves it and McCracken hoists it away. And now you can hear the roar from the Celtic fans. They were certainly muted, just a touch dispirited at the end of that first half. Lawson with the throw-in, no. They'll leave it instead for Neil Lennon. Sutton. Charlie Miller away. Now Patterson has Lilly out to his left-hand side, and this is a terrific run here. And he finds Lilly. McIntyre's arriving on the edge of the penalty area as well. Oh. But the cross was poor. He looked to the turf in anguish, or was he seeking an excuse?
Well, Jim Patterson had done the hard work. Charlie Miller fed Jim Patterson in. He went straight for the jugular, right through the middle. And Lilly had too much time on his hands there, just waiting for the ball to come to him. It's a promising start. Jim Patterson shouldn't have fed turn of pace there.
Well, looking at the replay, it didn't bobble, did it? It was just a poor delivery into the box, and you could see what McCall thought about it. Ian McCall down on the bench as a player. He was here with Queen's Park, Dunfermline, Bruce Spellett Rangers, and Bradford City as well. Before Dunfermline and Dundee. Falkirk, I think he was up for a while. Robert Balde looks across to the bench. Martin O'Neill is at the edge of the technical area. You may see him here having a word. Lilly. Charlie Miller wins it back. Slips. Agat. A little bit of space for Lennon. Is it my imagination, or has he pushed a little bit more forward at the start of the second half? Lilly. It's soft by Lambert. Balde was across. Bobo Balde. Strong run from him. Crowd loved that. And he was blocked as he went for a 1-2. It was Mark Wilson who offended. And slightly fortunate to escape there. A yellow card.
Well, good work from Bobo Balde. Body block there. And, sure Mark Wilson would have felt that.
Looking at the replay, I'm not too sure if he could get out of the way of big Bobo Balde, or was it he being cute? Look at Larsson there. Behind the Celtic goal, you could see him lining up to have the strike. Lawson is there as well, but Henrik Larsson, blocked by Craig Easton, flew away out of the wall very quickly. Longest serving Dundee United player. He's played under 5 managers. He's only 23. I think that tells a story. Hartson. a minute there, I thought that Alan Coombe was a little bit slow, and he got there in the end.
And that's what Henrik Larsson's good at, feeding off John Hartson. Not quite on that time. Alan Coombe has to be really aware to that possibility.
Touches it on. Lambert, Hartson making the run to his left-hand side. There, Gat. Henrik Larsson getting across his man, took a slight touch, and that's a good clearance away. Steered off the outside of Easton's left boot. He was pelting back towards his own goal. And that was a good controlled defensive clearance away. Smith with the corner kick. Balde in the penalty area once again. Sutton there too. Larsson at the near post. Hartson with the flick! And I think they hit the outside of the woodwork.
A ball fired in low from Jamie Smith. Hartson reaching for it. He slices off the outside of his foot. Crashes against the woodwork.
Look to the referee to see whether it deflected off the defender. You heard him, or you saw him say, hit the post to the ref.
Just noticed that corner kick from Jamie Smith, every player that was in the penalty box was actually standing in the 6-yard box. 18 players, or 16 actually, standing in that 6-yard box there.
Good cup tie now. Patterson for Dundee United. Not yet clear. Dodds is in there. Balde could have gone anywhere. Lawson away. How many of you out there watching thought it would be all over by now? Miller left the foot in late and caught Paul Lambert.
Oh, the longer the game goes on, of course, you start to think it's going to be a mistake, certainly with the conditions that are there. Players having to deal with a slippy surface. Could just be a mistake that makes all the difference here.
Should be Balde's. It was. Agat. Miller slithered in the mud. Step over by Larsson. Hartson pushes the return into him. Nearly comes to Henrik Larsson around the goalkeeper. Chance goal! Balde had stayed forward. And Celtic are ahead. 51 minutes on the clock. The deadlock is broken. Can Dundee United come back from this? Big Bobo Balde.
Well, if you look at Bobo Balde, he's drifted into this position. He's kept on going, and when the ball's broken free to him, Larsson is there to help. But it's Balde's run from the outset that's made it all possible. I mean, what's he doing there?
O'Neill jubilant. Balde's first goal since the start of November. The fans like to call him the removal man. And he's moved Celtic a giant step to a Hampden Park return in mid-March for the CIS Insurance Cup final. Another foul by Miller. The referee's pulled out his book here. He has. Charlie Miller.
Cool head required from Charlie Miller and his teammates now. Going behind to Celtic's not easy. And, Dundee United need all the players on the field.
Sutton. Good strength. Keeper spilled it. And Loughlin away. All Celtic now.
He reacted very well, Alan Coombe. This was an awful one to deal with. Just bouncing up in front of him. Did enough just to get it away from John Hartson.
There's a little bit of coming together in the 6-yard area. Wilson and Henrik Larsson. Wilson with the corner kick. Curling. Coombe under pressure, spills it just wide. The goal again man was ready to poach again.
Stuart Dougal, the referee, decided no infringement from Bobo Balde on Alan Coombe. And when the half chance fell to Henrik Larsson, you thought that was going to be number 2.
It would be 34 in 34 games this season for the Swede. Wilson. Dodds. Sutton, the Hartson, Larsson. Oh, that's a poor one. And Lachlan, straight red. That was poor. Straight red. It's all gone wrong for Dundee United. 1-0 down to Boba Balde. And now big Jim Lachlan sent off.
Ian McCall will be absolutely furious. He's got to deal with a lot of things now. He wouldn't particularly be bothered about Jim Lachlan walking past him there. It was downright dangerous really from Jim Lachlan. Henrik Larsson on the halfway line, not going anywhere particular. And that's purely reckless from Jim Lachlan.
Uncontrolled, dangerous, reckless challenge. Celtic look for a second. This is Smith. Good jink. Splendid shot off the post. Cuts him wide. Well, we waited to see the kid come into action, and he exploded into it there.
Well, Jamie Smith doing exceptionally well, taking advantage now that Dundee United are 6s and 7s. McCracken there, pulled aside. Alan Coombs stranded. Great effort from Jamie Smith.
The floodgates open. Dundee United have the Tayside derby to come, of course, and they go to Aberdeen, play at home to Dunfermline in the chase for points at the bottom of the table. McIntyre beaten by the flight of the ball. Henrik Larsson nearly came for Sutton. Charlie Miller spills it forward. Derek Lilly for Dundee United. They were looking for Duff, but Lawson was there. The goal scorer Balde. Now Lennon to Footballer of the Year in Scotland 2002, Paul Lambert. Hartson. Great ball. Henrik Larsson was there, just taken away. McCracken cleared. What a lovely floated ball forward. Patterson was never going to win that.
Well, uphill struggle it has become now for Dundee United. Down to 10 men. Celtic very much in the ascendancy, dictating play now, making the Dundee United midfield having to cover ground just to get anywhere near the ball. This is a dangerous passage of play now. Dundee United give another one away. You can see no way back for them.
Back out for Celtic. Still, of course, featuring 4 competitions, strengthening Stanislav Varga. Is on trial. Milan Rapajic, the Croatian international, on trial as well. Hartson trying to go around McIntyre. Ooh, and Dodds. Was there a foot in the challenge there on Hartson? Agat with the crossing. Challenged by Billy Dodds didn't look pretty. Sutton for Celtic, leading 1-0. Hartson, just onside, and being tugged. Much better player than he was ever given credit for in England, John Hartson. Tries to take the free kick quickly twice. John Hartson's going to be cautioned here. He tried to take the free kick at 2 Dundee United players who were standing there and couldn't retreat. The referee had a word with him, and he took the free kick again too quickly.
Well, it's a difficult one to call. So McIntyre there just got himself in the way. And again, deliberately trying to stop a quick free kick. Stuart Dougal decided it's John Hartson's that's committed the offence. It's one to talk about later on, perhaps.
If he was going to book one, he had to book them both. Lambert with a free kick again. Too quick for the referee.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jonathan. I think perhaps everybody was going to have to go in the book or nobody. And John Hartson, I think he'll feel a little bit hard done to there.
McIntyre would have had to go. Booked in the first half, maybe. There's a story therein, Trevor. Referee didn't want him to get red carded, and the free kick was wasted in the end. There's the man who scored the goal that gives Celtic the lead. Hartson off the defender, Henrik Larsson around the goalkeeper, and Bobo Balde's third of the season. And then this, that's a very poor challenge. Loughlin sent off, and another knife twisted into the back of Dundee United's CIS insurance challenge. Final, of course, upcoming on 5. You've just seen March the 16th. Lennon. Movement on the Dundee United bench. Celtic on the attack. Was Hartson held back? I think it's Jim Hamilton who's warming up for Dundee United. He's had his injury problems. Scored in the Scottish Cup against Hibs the other day. It was when they were training in that game that Lee Thompson says he realised he had to change the setup, although many people think that Paul Hegarty was hard done by. Terrific player for Dundee United, of course, in his day. I wonder what he's thinking tonight as he watches on. And not forgetting Maurice Malpass and John Holt, who went with him. Difficult time to be out of a job in football. Sutton. Henrik Larsson. Smith just kept it in. Duff was quick to scuttle in there as well.
Well, I'm starting to see the fluency that a goal can bring. There's Jim Hamilton coming on for Dundee United.
Billy Dodds is the man who goes away. 5 goals this season, Jim Hamilton. Was linked at one stage with Livingston, I seem to remember. Billy Dodds, as he went off, took the armband with him. The referee hasn't spotted this yet. Blocked by Easton. Miller. Again. I suppose Craig Easton would resume the captaincy on the pitch. He was skipper before the arrival of Billy Dodds.
Well, Jim Hamilton certainly will give a bit more of a physical presence up front for Dundee United. You certainly need a bit of that now.
This is Patterson. There is the substitute. Alder, that's a ragged clearance. This is Lilly. McIntyre wanted Patterson to spurt down the line so he could play it inside the fullback Agat, but Patterson nonetheless has won the corner kick.
And did well again, Jim Patterson, not making it easy for Didier Agat, and almost created himself half a yard, got the first ball in. I was talking about Jim Hamilton being in there. It's the kind of service that Jim Hamilton can be effective from.
Kraken's in at the near post. McIntyre's in there as well, and Lilly. Balde away. Easton, that's dropped a little bit short. Celtic can gobble it up. Larson, oh, he just was making that forward spurt. Lambert couldn't find him. And Duff was foul. Smith caution.
There's always going to be that danger if Dundee United do commit themselves forward, that Celtic can break on them very, very quickly. Paul Lambert just missed out on pushing the ball through for Henrik Larsson there.
Smith, the third Celtic player booked, 2 for Dundee United. Loughlin sent off. This time it's Patterson. I don't think players can blame conditions, because we heard a lot about the pitch here at Hampden, but I don't think it's that bad. We spoke to David Kells during the half-time break, the MD of the National Stadium, and he said he doesn't think it's going to be relayed, but it has a little natural break here after the Ireland match next Wednesday, and a bit of topsoil and reseeding should see the pitch okay. And certainly for me it's better than it was this stage last season. That's a great ball forward looking for Hartson. 6 inches of rain recorded at Hampden in January. 20 days of rain causing problems. Wilson should clear for Dundee United. Lennon off Hamilton. Lovely turn, Henrik Larsson's away. Looking for Sutton! Oh, off the post! Henrik Larsson! And Celtic surely now! No! Offside! Must have been for the player. Was it Sutton who was almost on the goal line, having followed through from that attempt there? There he is, Sutton. He's blocking the goalkeeper off.
Yeah, it's a super decision actually from the assistant referee. On first sight, I thought Sutton was perhaps over the goal line and wasn't interfering with play at all. But when Henrik Larsson went to strike that ball, certainly Chris Sutton was standing right in front of Alan Coombe.
3 times they've hit the woodwork now, Celtic. Hamilton. Got the line to Patterson. Again looks for Henrik Larsson. Wilson, that's a smart turn. Get it again. What has been said over the last 2 or 3 years about the lack of emerging talent in Scotland, but as we've said before on 5, we've seen plenty of it in this CIS Insurance Cup campaign coming through this season. That's Miller. This is Easton. Oh, begged a touch. It was Miller who had the shot. Needed the slightest of touches in there by Stuart Duff.
Well, when Easton's got the ball here and he pulls it back to Charlie Miller, Charlie Miller does exceptionally well to make a decent contact with that. Ian McCall shows his frustration, just needed a touch. Perhaps from Jim Hamilton would have turned that in.
Anguish for Ian McCall on the bench, but hard as they've fought here, Dundee United, Trevor, I can't remember Hedman having to make a save, can you?
No, he can literally dust his gloves down, that's for sure, but they've threatened once or twice. If that had just been a bit of a better connection from Charlie Miller, it was an easy one for him to take. Got a half-decent connection, I suppose. But they haven't been totally lifeless when they've gone forward, Dundee United. 1 or 2 opportunities, and that was one.
Up to Hamilton. It's his birthday this weekend. Turns 27. Miller. That's risky. That's neat.
He's done well, Mark Wilson. A young man having to deal with Henrik Larsson and be the centre of 3 central defenders. Shown a lot of maturity so far.
Easton bags the games, but he's only 23. This is Miller. Duff. Lily's behind him. Showed a little bit too much of it to Smith. United are going to make another substitution. Jamie McCunney's going to come on. A promising season last season. going to come on for Patterson. Speaking to one or two Dundee United fans today, and they say that they think that McCanny, who's an under-21 international, has just been a little bit short of confidence in recent weeks.
I'm a little bit surprised at Jim Patterson coming off. I thought he's done pretty well in the game. He gives the balance on the left-hand side, but Ian McCall obviously doesn't see it like that. Jim McCanny, a right-sided player, right back in fact. Stuart Duff has moved over to the left-hand side. He's not naturally left-sided.
McIntyre. Interception by Agat. Celtic 1, Dundee United 0. Agat races. It's a goal kick. And the referee was right there. Agat protests.
Well, good defending again, Mark Wilson. Not been overawed with the thought of Didier Agat coming at him. The pace that he's got. Stuck with his task.
Double substitution for Celtic. David Fernandez, the Spaniard's going to come on, and Alan Thompson too. Currently suffering a league ban, although it doesn't affect this competition. Alan Thompson. Duff, who's come to the left-hand side. Now, that was interesting. The Dundee United Arab supporters, as they call themselves, thought that was handball. This is Sutton. Larsson's on that left-hand touchline. Hartson awaits in the middle. Was Hartson pushed off it there, I wonder, by McIntyre? Referee there, Stuart Dougal, had two decisions to make, and he hasn't made many wrong tonight. Lawson with the cross. Wilson, who's been excellent for Dundee United away. Bobo Balde, the goal scorer. Lennon. Lambert in space. Still coming. Hartson. Going nowhere really there. Goal kick given. So look at those decisions again, Trevor.
Yeah, this was what seemed to just bounce up. Catch Paul Lambert on the arm there. Stuart Douglas, we can see, perfect position. Paul Lambert didn't move at all to avoid the ball. Seemed to be glancing away, but being very harsh to be given against Paul Lambert there.
Double substitution for Celtic. Off goes Smith, off goes Hartson. And Thompson and Fernandez coming on. Alan Thompson, once upon a time of Newcastle and Bolton, and Willem Fernandez was brought to Scotland by Steve Archibald originally, Airdrie and Livingston, before Celtic paid £1 million for him last summer. Only one goal this season, it was back in October. The word from the bench is that John Hartson is not too happy that he's had to come off. It's the first time he's failed to score against Dundee United. He's the man who makes the decisions. I don't think he's made many wrong ones for Celtic since he joined the club. "17 minutes to go. Dundee United to make a substitution as well. Stephen O'Donnell coming on, and Charlie Miller is the man to go off. Looks bamboozled by the decision too, Trevor.
It's another one, unless he's got a knock or maybe feeling the pace a little bit. Charlie Miller will be very disappointed to come off, and you can see that. Ian McCall making his decisions though.
Scored a hat-trick in the competition earlier this season against Queen's Park. Stephen O'Donnell. Walton with the effort. It's the first time I can remember Magnus Hedman having to make a save in the game. Agat. Did he get the cross away this time? Still in play, and he did get the cross through. Sutton battling in the air. This is O'Donnell, Scottish Youth International. Only 19. Fernandez. Tricky. Goal kick given, the ball had sailed out of play first before it curled back in from Fernandez.
Yeah, Fernandez, a player that impressed very much on his entrance into Scottish football with Livingston. And Martin O'Neill's been pretty shrewd when he's picked up players, when he's looked around to strengthen his squad. He's very often looked around Scotland for players right under his own nose, basically. Fernandez is another one of those. Not quite set the heather on fire with Celtic yet.
Next live football action on 5 comes from the UEFA Cup. 4th round, first leg, Always Air, Liverpool, February the 20th. We're on air at 7:30, kick-off at 7:45. Fernandez, just nudged by McIntyre. And 5 yellow-carded players tonight. Don't forget Loughlin's sent off for Dundee United shortly after they went behind to the Boba Balde goal. Sutton not happy with the quality of pass by Neil Lennon. This is Easton. Whatever happens in this tie from now on, I think Dundee United have surprised a lot of people, and you can already see the effect that Ian McCall's having on the spirit of the club, I think.
Well, I think you know, sometimes a change of manager does that, and certainly Ian McCall is a manager who's very, very highly thought of in many parts, and I think he's going to go all the way to the top. I'm sure he's going to do a good job with Dundee United, and he has his influences already, as you say, given that little bit extra to the Dundee United players. They're all, of course, fighting for their own careers and their long-term future at Dundee United.
Well, that's a mistake. This is Larsson. This to kill the tie, surely. Oh, what happened there? That was one circus trick too many.
I've seen him do this before. He tries to roll his foot over the ball just to drag it past the goalkeeper just there. And of course, he's just caught on his studs on this occasion.
A tough night for Celtic. Let me put this into context for you. They've picked up 46 more points than Dundee United this season over a 26-game league campaign so far.
Well, Dundee United, they've got their 3rd manager already in place this season, and it's never a good position to have. Players don't know if they're coming or going sometimes. No real fluency through the club, and I'm sure the directors of Dundee United, we hope that Ian McCall can steady it all down and bring a brighter future to Tannadice.
Alan Thompson, cultured left foot, cracking away. Thompson again. Fernandez, a little spurt, and defending once more. McIntyre inside. O'Donnell away. 12 minutes to go. Time to start thinking perhaps about a man of the match. Match back by McCunnick. Oberbalde, the goal scorer, perhaps a candidate. Looking for Larsson.
Well, now that he's missed a couple of opportunities in the game, that'll just be making Henrik Larsson a little bit more fired up, that little bit more eager to break the deadlock for himself tonight. Another goal, of course, would secure it for Celtic.
Jus Valgeren. Larsson, and Fernandez did well just to scoot in front of a tiring Easton. I don't think the picture's played that heavy though, really, Trevor, is it?
It's not really cut up too badly, and you know, I don't think the players can have too many complaints. I've seen 1 or 2 players losing their footing, but over the duration of the game, there's not been that much to fault the pitch with.
Sutton, Larsson, gets the shot away! And that surely now has secured CIS Insurance final in March. 34 goals in 34 games this season. He's the man, Henrik Larsson.
Henrik Larsson shaking his head there. I think he knows that he should have had 2, maybe even 3 goals in the game, but allowed to get the ball under control, and he does that well. The ball ends up going through the legs of McCracken, but that's something that happens every day of the week when Henrik Larsson's about. Makes his own luck at times, but he knows what he wants to do. Pulls it away into the corner.
Don't think there can be any complaints from Dundee United here. Competitive first half, but Celtic's quality in the second half has emerged. 2 goals, 3 times they've hit the post. Now, this is Valgeren. And O'Donnell away. Hagat, good work by Yus Valgeren. The challenge back in that way, Lennon. Lawson. Thompson. Mistake by Duff. And retrieve the situation now. That looked tired. A wearied pump forward. Momo Silla's going to come on, the Ivory Coast international. And I think it's going to be Didier Agat to go off. Smiles all round on the final substitution of the evening.
Yeah, just a straight swap. Didier Agat coming off. Momo Silla will assume the position. It's vacated by Didier Agat.
Lennon to Balde. Just nipped in front of Henrik Larsson to score the first after Larsson around the goalkeeper. The Swede had 1 disallowed and found the back of the net.
Dundee United will not want to give up. Roughly 10 minutes left in the game. They're not going to throw the towel in. It does seem an impossible task. You never know, if they get one, they might just get another.
Well, I think there are signs that Ian McCall is stirring the sleeping Dundee United club. Younger viewers may not know or have forgotten that this is a club that reached the semi-final of the European Champions Cup. It's 19 years ago now. UEFA Cup runners-up. Team that won trophies, didn't struggle at the foot of the top flight in Scottish football. Henrik Larsson surely has settled it now, but who knows? Because Dundee United have this free kick. 7 minutes left on the clock. McCunny will take it. Lilly's forward and McIntyre there as well. McCracken's gone up from the back. Big Stuart Duff is there as well. Hamilton climbs, that's a powerful header. Thompson, who's always played at a measured gait throughout his career.
He's a regular under normal circumstances with Martin O'Neill. Shared their position somewhat with Steve Guppy this year on the left-hand side. Weighs in with his fair share of goals, Alan Thompson.
Duff to Easton. Hamilton. I have to remind you also that Dundee United are down to 10 men. I think any chance they had in this CIS Insurance semi-final disappeared with the Loughlin sending off. Celtic have used the extra man advantage well. Coming up a little bit later on, Trevor and Pat Nevin will be in the studio with me here for the Football Night programme. Midnight, interviews with Craig Brown, Martin O'Neill, Bertie Vokes, all the latest from the English relegation tussle in the Premiership. Fernandez. Up for the diagonal run of Larsson. Wilson away. He's acquitted himself very, very well.
Yeah, he's impressed me. I haven't seen very much of Mark Wilson, but what I've seen tonight, he takes responsibility, and he's had more experienced players around him, and he's been the one who's been pointing and prodding and pushing and having to deal with Henrik Larsson at the same time.
Momo Silla for Celtic. Thompson gives chase. Lawson. Sutton. Back again. Just miscontrolled the shot, really. Didn't hit it correctly. Nice build-up once again involving the Swede.
Yeah, it was in the first half. Oh, this is the goal, actually, from Henrik Larsson. He doesn't need too many opportunities, Henrik Larsson.
Came to Celtic to win things. After his spell at Helsingborg and at Feyenoord, League Championships, Cup, twice Footballer of the Year. Someone's going to have to go some to beat him for that honour this season again. I'm not too sure if anyone's won that award 3 times. Chance here for Celtic. Larsson's awaiting in the middle again. Whoa. He's had better, hasn't he?
It's been worth his weight in gold, though, Chris Sutton to Celtic. Said earlier that he's taken up so many positions for the club, and every time that he's pulled on the Celtic jersey, he really has delivered performances and goals. And certainly I would reckon with first name down, apart from Henrik Larsson, on that Celtic team sheet.
Did so well at Norwich and at Blackburn Rovers. But his career started at Chelsea. Hamilton, not from there. Jim Hamilton. McCracken away. Balde to Lambert. Over Balde again. So strong in the challenge, isn't he? 26-year-old from Marseille. Ryan Woolhouse and Cannes and Toulouse to Celtic. There's a possible chance. Kenny with the cross. Duff forward. I think it came off him, did it? No. Came off Balde Larks. Corner kick to Dundee United.
Well, Dundee United are going to get anything. It's got to happen now. It's got to happen pretty quickly. Duff doing well there, making it difficult for Balde and Momo Silla at the far post.
I think it came off Silla last, actually. O'Donnell with a corner kick here for Dundee United. McCracken in the 6-yard area, Hamilton in there as well, and McIntyre. It's come loose. It's Easton. Sutton blocking. Oh, the referee's blown his whistle because there's an idiot on the pitch. The referee quietly waiting while a supporter is removed. Ian McCall watches on. He's off. Stewards have him. And we'll resume. Referee checks with his assistants. We're okay to resume. With seconds to go in the last minute. McCanny. Sutton. It would be a 25th Scottish League Cup final for Celtic. They won this CIS Insurance version a couple of years ago. Scraped away there by McCracken. He's had a strong evening as well. You're only talking a 21-year-old for Dundee United. Awkward bounce as Lennon went to play the ball. Gobbled up by Duff.
That's one of the things.
O'Donnell, still a teenager.
Just going to say, Jonathan, one of the things that Dundee United do have going for them is their average age is very, very low. Yeah, the low 20s, that's for sure. A lot for Ian McCall to work with and build on in the future.
Balde down. 2 minutes of stoppage time to play. Easton for Dundee United. Henrik Larsson. And he's away. Needs some movement in the middle. Sutton and Momo Sila supplying support. Duff away. Fernandez. Great spirited atmosphere at Hampden Park. Not the biggest crowd you'll see here. Celtic fans celebrating almost certainly now another final, but the Dundee United supporters have been hugely spirited. You just see them there at the other end of the ground. Last minute of stoppage time. Thompson with a corner kick. Free header! And he's got another one! What a huge influence! Bodo Balde's out of the game. Celtic 3, Dundee United 0. Bodo Balde with 2, Henrik Larsson with the other. And in the end, it's been a cruise for Celtic.
Well, he's just physically so powerful, and even Jim Hamilton really was just shaken off by Bobo Balde there. A standing jump. Alan Thompson delivered the ball right to Bobo Balde and used all his physical strength. Did well to keep the ball down just under the bar. Alan Coombe couldn't do anything about it.
Celtic are through to the CIS Insurance final. 2 goals from Bobo Balde sent Martin O'Neill through to the final. Dundee United improving under Ian McCall. Henrik Larsson got the other. With reaction to come, of course, but the full-time scoreline from Hampden Park in the CIS Insurance semi-final. Celtic triumphant. Celtic 3, Dundee United 0.
Do you remember 1968, when no one worried about the dollar rate? You must be 50-something. Can you recall when Lennon grew his beard and it was cool to call your parents weird? You're 50-something. If afternoon passion's given way to afternoon tea, peace and love to financial security, you are 50-something. 50 is the golden age. 50 is a magic stage, and 50 is now all the rage because we're 50. 50 is when you reach your prime. 50 is that special time when, if you're honest, you'd give everything you've got to stay 49.
If financial planning makes you feel your age, get yourself a plan from the Pro.
Just a routine chest X-ray?
Just a routine chest X-ray. I found out it was lung cancer. And you think to yourself, they must be wrong. You never think it's going to happen to you.
If you want to stop smoking, call 0800 169 0169.
Our love shines like a beacon. perfect.
The Lord of the Rings, battle games in Middle-earth. Relive the battles and adventures of the Fellowship with this tabletop strategy game. Collect and paint the characters. Learn how to model the landscapes and recreate the battle scenes. Start now with your first information pack gaming guide. 4 paints, a paintbrush and 12 goblin warriors. Lord of the Rings, battle games in Middle-earth at newsagents now for £1.99.
Now there's a new way to create and control your own cast of characters. The Sims are on PlayStation 2.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
Like most victims, Julie knew her killer. It was her son. He wasn't wearing his seatbelt. After crushing her to death, he sat back down. Think, always wear a seatbelt.
Well, Celtic's first came from an unlikely source, Bobo Bolden, with a little help from Henrik Larsson. Celtic made it safely through, and it was Balde who got the second. Right, we can hear from the man of the match, who was voted by Hugh, the viewer, and it is Henrik Larsson. He's with Andy Walker.
Henrik, that was a tough contest. Is that the way you saw it?
Yeah, I think